the topic for our talk this morning, the Cosmic Mother in Kabbalah. What we're going to try to discuss this morning is at least a specialized aspect of what Kabbalah implies or means when it talks about the feminine principle as related to the Cosmic Mother. Now, on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, the number 3, the black Sephiroth, or also called emanation, also called particularized expression or activity of consciousness, these are all interrelated terms. That black Sephiroth is related to the Cosmic Mother. It is called Binah, one of its names, Binah meaning understanding. It is also called Amma, which is referred to as the sterile mother before the Cosmic Father impregnates her. It is also called Ayama. You see, there are always many names given to one thing in order to show its different qualities, all within the one essence. So it is also called Ayama, and that is after the Cosmic Father seed impregnates the Cosmic Mother with the seed of life, which is, to begin with, the universe, the universal seed, and which is known to function on any and every level, even those levels that we consider personalized. They are still specialized aspects of the universal area or expression. And this particular aspect of the Tree of Life is also referred to as the sanctifying intelligence, meaning that portion of the total consciousness of God which sanctifies. And in this case, remember, sanctifying has to do with making holy, making into a saintly expression, bringing about, therefore, perfection, because we think of saints, for those who attain various sainthood levels, as being perfected human beings. So it has to do with ideas of being perfected. It has to do with ideas of becoming purified, or the process that purifies, sanctifies, makes holy. And this particular aspect of the Tree of Life is also called the Great Seas, having to do with the fluidic aspect of universal consciousness, which takes form in word and deed, incidentally, and action. And it therefore also refers to the total principle that our beloved Dr. Case called the finitizing principle, or the principle that specializes expressions, or specializes its own universal fluidic substance, which is actually its mental substance, into very particularized forms of being, meaning, therefore, that it is the aspect of the divine which grows or evolves particularized souls out of its own beingness, which is also called the divine soul. So that this aspect of the Tree of Life, also remember called the divine soul, is said to be that portion of the Tree of Life which really gives human soul to human beings, human soul therefore being divine soul. So this divine soul becomes a very important thing to understand when we want to think of the meaning of the Cosmic Mother in Kabbalah. Now, another aspect that relates to the Cosmic Mother that very few people seem to utilize enough who are being trained in the Kabbalistic way of attainment is the realization that this particular aspect on the Tree of Life also relates to foresight. The idea of the supernal triad involving foresight has to do with each of this supernal triad representing the idea of that which was, that which is, and that which will be. And the cosmic mother deals with understanding, because understanding comes to us only after mistakes of the past, and the wisdom gives us an ability to analyze and therefore to understand. And the cosmic mother, therefore, is said to be the beginning of the specialized kind of thinking, which we call this capacity to separate one thing from another, so that the finitizing principle, or the kind of consciousness that starts developing individualizations, specializations, has to do with the capacity to develop foresight. And of course it's only out of the experiences of the past. In other words, really it's from hindsight, isn't it, that we develop foresight? If you stop to analyze that, you see it is correct too. Now then, what is foresight? Some of us get hung up on phenomena, unfortunately, where we think foresight can only be expressed in what might be called a very extraordinary kind of fortune-telling, divination level. So that you have people who do not understand what tarot is really meant to be all about. You have these people who use tarot in order to do divination. That is, to find out what's going to happen. In other fortune-telling, divination. And this is a misunderstanding of what the principles of tarot are all about. Because the true principles of tarot have to do with learning how to utilize each and every tarot key in order to be able to express the powers of these paths as shown on the tree, and the activities of these Sephiroth, or the circles which the Tree of Life indicate. Now then, foresight is not that phenomenal from a certain point of view, and yet it is very magical and phenomenal from another point of view. For example, we all show foresight when we are planning to cross the street. We are careful to go to the corner and wait for the signal and make sure that the traffic has stopped. We're showing foresight because we know from the past, from past experience, that this is the safe way to go, that inasmuch as we want to get to the other side of the street, this is the way you do it. So we are expressing foresight. Now, expressing this kind of foresight is no different in kind, it's only different in degree, from the knowledge that the universal mind has of how to go about bringing about the full sanctification of humanity, that is, the perfection of evolution, and just what methods to utilize out of the past workings of the unfoldings of consciousness. The divine feminine aspect of God is what brings about this foresight, the ability to follow a plan carefully in our work, in the lessons, in all the other portions of the training. We find that more and more we learn how to reach to that above, and if you'll see on the Tree of Life, it is the magician, which is the power of attention, taking or bringing the energy from the above, which is signified by the white Sephira, the one I am that I am, and drawing this energy down by the act of attention into the below, or what is symbolized by subconsciousness. And incidentally, Binah is also symbol for the universal subconsciousness. So that we have here the universal aspect of the various powers of consciousness that we know we have in our, what we call our personalized aspect. But what we have to come to understand is that these very same powers that we express in our personalized aspects are specializations of the universal aspect, because there is none else. In other words, your subconsciousness and my subconsciousness isn't anything separate from Binah, the universal subconsciousness. Your foresight and my foresight is in no way separated from the cosmic mother or the Binah foresight. Your capacity to be sanctified, perfected, purified is in no way separate from the powers of the cosmic mother, Binah, Ima. Your ability, your capacity to be specialized, to know, to express the uniqueness of your own individuality is there because the cosmic mother is not something separate from you, but is part of every cell in your body, every atom of every cell, part of everything that we are, and everything that everyone else is. The order of the heavens is the expression of our cosmic mother, the cosmic feminine principle, universally expressed within a field of intention. Remember what we have said about intention. All things, universally and personally, are brought about by the power of intention, which means what? Will. So that the will of God becomes intention in that level of expression that it is used, whether it's our personal or whether it's a universal level. And so the very order of the heavens that is being held in that order, certainly held there by the principle shown as the cosmic mother, is the self-same principle that holds the order of our own physical vehicle in its particular form, and that expresses its order in the interaction of all of the different organs, the atoms, the aspects of being. So that when it is said that man is the microcosm, God the macrocosm, and man is the microcosm or a microcosm of the macrocosm, what we need to realize is that this is literally true. We have a tendency to think it is just figuratively true. But something that is figuratively true is something that isn't really inside of us. It is merely something that is similar to. But when a thing is literally true, it is actual, absolute and actual. And you and I must, sooner or later, come to the realization, the recognition that literally, absolutely and literally, the very flesh of our bodies, or what we call flesh or experience as flesh, the very order of our whole physical system is so held and so ordered because it is the expression of the divine cosmic feminine principle, because there is naught else. And therefore, every physical body, whether it's a male body or a female body, is an expression of the cosmic mother. Whereas every act of insight is an activity of the cosmic father, whether it is a female body or a male body in and through which this is taking place. We can say, therefore, that the cosmic father principle would be expressed in more essence if we say it has more of the concentration of the insight aspects of consciousness. The cosmic feminine has the aspects of the foresight, and neither one is separate, because either one is unthinkable without the other. Together they have existed before time began. This is the unity and the one of Kether, the I amness. But these are the ways we think about and therefore see and express the idea. And every one of us, whether we think of ourselves as a man or as a woman, after all, when we think of it on the physical plane, we all have within us the X chromosome of our physiological mother, whether we are male or female. And if we are male, we also have the Y chromosome of the father. But if we are female, we have the X chromosome of the father, because the father carries an X and Y, physically speaking, and the mother is an XX. Now, don't try to X it out. Remember, in this case, it's like a plus sign. And remember, it's an interesting thing that Tav, Tarot Key 21, called the world, you'll see it behind me, assigned to the powers, the principles of the esoteric Saturn. That this, the ancient, the original way of making that particular Hebrew Chaldean letter was a cross, and it was called the cross, and it means the cross. Tav means the cross, or what? The cross as what? As a plus sign, or as a multiplication sign. So that the sphere of the activity of Saturn, which is assigned to the cosmic mother Binah, means that this is the power of plussing, or of multiplying. And what can you plus and what can you multiply except yourself? There is nothing else. So that everything is really a multiplication of the self, similar to the way even the formation of a physical vehicle takes place. Out of the togetherness of the male and female seed, what do you have? They're catapulted into an activity of order. And how does an embryo grow? By self-multiplication. How else? Doesn't it? We've watched it on TV screens now, this magic, this miracle. It assimilates, it takes in nourishment. And what nourishment is there to take in except that of God? There is nothing else, since everything is the substance. All substance is the substance of our cosmic mother. So everything, whether it is being done in and through what we call a physical mother, or in and through a physical father, everything is a specialized function, literally, of the one divine. And so when we say we are begotten of God, this is literally correct. What else is there to beget us? When we talk about the cosmic mother, we're talking about your mother and my mother. We're talking about the only mother that is. And every single female is a specialized aspect on the physical plane of that one universal mother, because there is naught else. And every man who loves the feminine principle feels a special reverence for every woman because of an intuitive recognition, that is, having the insight that is typically a masculine power, and yet both have it, because no woman could be born, no female could be born unless the father had his little say about it in the expression, or shall we say the outpouring of the flame of his seed. Nor could any male be born except for that. No male or female could be born except there was the receptivity of the feminine principle expressed through the womb of God in and through any female. The capacity is always there. And so it is from the cosmic mother, the finitizing principle, that these potentials and capacities and qualities come. Then they are expressed in and through and via the rest of the specializations. And that's one of the reasons that the cosmic mother has also been referred to as expressing the 7 holy creative spirits of the Most High, because this is what they refer to, the 7 which are projected, or which are born from her womb. And yet remember, not born from her womb as in terms of any outsideness, because there is no outside of the cosmic mother womb. We all are a growth process inside. There's no outside whatsoever. Now then, who are we and what are we in terms of this Western mystery training system? We are very eternal, complete, extraordinary, mysterious, mystical, wondrous expressions of the one life. This one life being in you, in me, in all things. Who are you? What are you? You are a specialized aspect of the Cosmic Mother. You are a specialized aspect of the Cosmic Father. You are a specialized aspect of the one, the only, blessed be He, the I Amness of I Am. And another thing, born of a virgin. Who is the virgin? Take a look. Forget the tree of life, and know who's the call cannot be careful, treacherous. You see there the holy priestess. Now you look at it.